Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast. Live, Build, Change. Got to make sure I say that slow enough or it kind of all runs together and you don't know what I'm really saying. Live, Build, Change is a movement to encourage believers in Christ to build businesses that can change the world, but it's based upon living out your faith in an authentic way. And that's why this Morning Mindset edition is so vital. If you just happen to be listening to this episode, and you normally don't listen to these daily morning episodes, I want to encourage you to make these part of your morning routine. The Morning Mindset is my attempt at helping you get your mind right, get yourself on track for the day ahead. We've been doing that these last few episodes, I guess just in yesterday's episode on the 1st, by looking at John chapter 14. It's a powerful passage, and it's in the very words of Jesus as he was speaking to his disciples. And yesterday we looked at his very first statement in verse number 1 of chapter 14, the Gospel of John, where he said, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me." And the point we understood yesterday was that our will and our decision to not let our hearts be troubled, no matter the circumstance, flows out of our belief in God and our belief in Jesus. That's not intellectual belief. It's a belief of who he really is, of the great character and qualities and goodness and wisdom that are him. That kind of belief is what enables us to refuse the tumult of emotion that may come at any given time and say instead, I will not be troubled because I believe in my good God and in his plan for my life. I believe he is doing good. I believe he is up to good, and I will not doubt that. And in essence, when you don't believe the character and goodness of your God, you are setting yourself up for your heart to be troubled over and over and over, because you're not basing your responses to the circumstances of life in the goodness of your God who has committed himself to you. He has vowed himself through the death of his son to be for you. That is an amazing concept, that the God of the universe who spoke and made everything come into existence has committed himself to you by virtue of your faith in his son's sacrifice. Jesus goes on in verse 2 to kind of extrapolate out the significance of what it means that we have this good Father. He says, "In my Father's house are many rooms." The old King James Version says many mansions. Boy, doesn't that sound great? Would I have told you that I was going to prepare a place for you? And see, his point is, this life is not everything that there is. There is more ahead. That good God that we trust in, that we believe in, is preparing a place for us. He and Jesus are doing that. And it's going to be a wonderful place. It's in our Father's house. It's home. It's our real home, the place that we belong as believers in Christ. And Jesus says, I have gone to prepare that place for you. And he continues in verse 3, "If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also." And so you see, the circumstances of this life, as upsetting as they can be, are not the end for us as believers in Christ. They're not even the beginning. They don't even touch the inheritance that we have in store. And so my exhortation to you today is to live your life in light of the good God that you serve, the good God who has committed himself to you and is preparing a place for you to be with him forever. This day does not have to shake you. You can live above it, and let not your heart be troubled. Let's talk about this a little bit more tomorrow on the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast.